Hello, good day, everyone. Coming in to do the yearly forecast for 2024. This one is going to be for Scorpio. I had to look down on my list for a moment, but this one is going to be for the Scorpio energy for 2024. Please remember, these do not replace any medical, psychological advice that you've been given. This never go against your free will. This is to be taken as entertainment. And it's a collective reading. This is not a personal, this is a collective. And so if it doesn't resonate with you all year, and it's not that, maybe it was something more that's in your natal chart and not so much about your sun sign, because this is basing on sun sign. And sometimes it is sun, could be your moon, could also be your ascendant. I feel like for my Scorpios that it's also those with the ascending Scorpio. And so this could be your rising. And so I feel like rising into, so Scorpio, what do we got coming this year for you? It does feel as if you've been faced with a lot of challenges. Life has really challenged you. You've been through a lot of ups and downs. And some things have been karma. And so it has been the release of old karma, or releasing old karma, or relinquishing control. Relinquishing control is a big one for Scorpio energy. Is that this past couple of years have really taught you about relinquishing control. What's in my control? What can I control? What can I not control? What is not, what have I really learned about myself in this experience throughout this past few years? So I am going to be using my deck of the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards. So I'm going to be using these, which are available on my website. I will also be using Radley Valentine's, the Angel Wisdom Tarot, and there may be a mix of tarot in here as well. I have 3 decks on the go. And so you'll see me switch back and forth the camera because I will be showing you the cards. I didn't do it in the first few, and then it just kind of became a part of the next of the rest of the readings I've been doing. So I'm going to just trust that journey. So for many of my Scorpios, the way you thought life was going to turn out, life may give you a twist and a turn. And it may feel like you are losing something. It may feel like life is taking something from you, but it's actually the preparing you for such an amazing emotional experience. That's what I'm getting. And so the card that came up is a beautiful new experience. And so I'm just going to lay it over here. I'll come back to it. I'm going to leave it out. And as I go back to the cards, I'll return to it. Why do you want everything so explained, Scorpio? I feel like Scorpio, you're afraid to put your foot in the water. You're afraid to you want to know everything. You want to know everything ahead of time. You want everything explained in detail to you. Where did you forget and where did you lose the ability to trust yourself? How many of my Scorpios have lost that ability to fully trust themselves, that they have been doing and making decisions to make other people happy, saying yes to people just so that you don't hurt people's feelings, doing things that are going to please like a whole, almost like a group, like, oh, I'm going to live here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to, I'm doing all this for other people. And in the meantime, I feel like you have lost yourself a little bit. You've lost yourself, you've lost your sense of knowing. Your compass is off. And so your compass of life is not traveling due north, it is traveling into the wrong direction. And it's not that it's a wrong direction, but it's making it more, it's making it more challenging for you. It is costing you more than you can afford to lose, to be caught up in the entanglement of pleasing, making sure you're doing everything to make everyone else's life comfortable and not including yourself in that, or not making it about your life. And it feels like this moving forward is about raising up the chin, sticking your chin out, not being afraid to put yourself out there, and not being afraid to say, no, this is not working for me, and that I can't do this, and that this is not where, this is not fitting into who I am. So who did you change for? What have you been changing for that is not really the change towards your direction? And I feel like this may be the year you may find yourself taking your power back, reclaiming that sense of self, and standing up and not letting yourself be tangled in. I feel like it's some sort of guilt stories. It's like you're still trying to make up for something that you know in your heart. So you may have made choices and decisions that you are so desperate that you really want it to happen, that you really want it to take place, and it really felt right at the time, but you're feeling the emotional burden as if you are now the one who's carrying the guilt. You're the one who's carrying the weight of it. And this is the year, and I feel like it's very much in the beginning of the year where you may find yourself letting go and just saying, no, no, I'm not. No, I can't keep doing this because it's interfering in your flow. It's if somebody else's thoughts, somebody else's ideas, somebody else's wants and needs gets in the way, well, it trickles. So you're getting a trickle effect. You're getting a little bit of what you want, but you're not getting all of what you need. And there's a difference between our wants and our needs. So your needs are not being met. You're not being able to fully embody the sense of being happy and joyful in areas of your life. This doesn't mean it's everywhere in our lives. Is you have to look at and highlight the areas of where it is happening, where you're seeing this taking place in your life, where you're noticing this, where in the relationships. And I just feel like for some of you, you may find yourself like totally in a place of going backwards instead of forward, feeling like you're going backwards. It feels like this, you've been going backwards for a while, and Scorpio is not that energy. You're the one who is, you have that great sense of perseverance to, you are a little bit of the, what some may call selfish, but it's not selfish. It's, you have a great sense of knowing of what your needs are, and what needs need to be met, and to take a stand in that, and to be okay to let people think you're being a little bit selfish, to care for your needs, to do the things, because it is about perseverance. It is about, I have to survive in this world as well. And if I'm only surviving, then how do I begin to thrive? And so you're looking at you're looking in the wrong reflection. You're seeing the things that look like, that gives other people the illusion that you're living the life of your dreams, but you're not living the life of your dreams. You're living the life that is being dreamt into a reality from the shadow self, from outdated ways life should be lived. And I'm like, it is time for a turnaround. That's what I keep seeing. I just keep seeing almost like every one of your planets, every planet that's tied around the Scorpio energy in 2024 as a collective is like nodding its head back, like going, no, no, no. That's what I'm getting. What are you doing? You know that's wrong, but you're trying to convince yourself that it's right. What choices have you made? What decisions are you making that you're trying to make a wrong a right? You're trying to make, you're trying to take, you're trying to make an old barn into a beautiful home, but the old barn may need to be totally renovated. You just you can't put the pit, you can't put the, what is it? You can't put lipstick on a pig, right? It's like, and then call it something else. It is still a pig, right? You can't put something on. You just can't put a coating. A, you can't allow the illusions to create this sense of truth. And it just feels like it is just saying to you that, the divine, your soul, God, source, creator, whatever it is for you, all sees the truth, no matter how much you try to pretty it up. You can try to pretty things up as much as you like. You can try to change it into whatever you think it should be, but it is still what it is. The authenticity, the innate of it, the truth of it, whatever that may be. So it may be a person you're trying to change. It may be your situation you're trying to change. It may be, you're trying to pretend that you have something you don't have. And I'm like, it's an interesting dynamics that is playing out And I just feel like all the veils of illusions are going to crumble and fall. What is this costing you? What will this cost you in the meantime to discover this, to find this out? You're going to be learning some new truths about yourself. You're going to be at the depths of the deep, deep sea to get into the inner child, to find out what it is that that little inner child, is still trying to nurture. What does it believe was missing? Who does it think it still needs to be, right? Like, who do you think you still have to be to please others, to make others happy? I'm like, and it's a circle. This has been a repeat pattern, or it's not, or it can be a repeat pattern. So I have two things. It can be a repeat pattern, and then I'm getting no for some people. This may be something that you've said, I would never do it, and yet you're in it. How did you get yourself into this? And this is not on anyone else. This is on you. What is it? How did you get yourself fully in this? How does this have so much control? Where did you lose your sense of control? Where did you lose your voice? Where did you lose your power? Who were you trying to be more like? And what were you trying to be more like? Were you still trying to be that good kid from childhood, of I'm going to be the good one, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. So I'm going to paint myself into this. I'm going to create this image, and I'm going to be this image. I'm going to be this person. And yet nothing of it is working out. And it's been very challenging to get to there. And there's something just as saying you have to revisit this. You have to look at this. And it's the fact that I just feel like it's a sense of either pleasing others, doing stuff for others, or feeding the wants of the insecurities and not feeding the needs. And there's a difference. And so this is going to be the year where you're going to have to really dive deep into there and look at this in like a whole new way. But I'm going to shift over for you now. So here we go. Here's the card that I pulled out. And so this is where new beginnings are coming, and we have a 1. And so I really feel like here we have this, like, you're being offered a new experience. And it does bring in a sense of love. And this could be moving into a new space, a new home, a new relationship, whatever this may be. But notice how how this seems kind of like seems suspicious, right? It seems like, here's all this light shining, and here's this sweet little angel offering you. So this comes back into, what it is that I truly need. And I feel like what you need is coming forth for you, and it's going to bring about, it's going to highlight all the areas of your life of your unmet needs. There's a happy dance happening back here. The dolphin is happy dance. It is celebrating. It is not 2 dolphins. There's 1 dolphin. And so and then there's the 1 little mermaid. I feel like what it's telling us, that this is where you're going to begin. This is where you're going to begin to build that relationship with yourself first, and it's going to lead into healthy relationships everywhere for you. And so this could be you may have been on the fence of a new relationship if you're single, and I feel like this is going to bring a whole new relationship for you. It's also that of divine love that's coming in. So I have a lot of magic with this, but sometimes, we can be deceived by being fed the Kool-Aid of, you'll be so much happier if you just do this or you do that. No, you'll be so much happier if you just listen to that self. Oh, and I just noticed we have no candle burning over here. That's funny. Your flame is going out somewhere, moving that out of the way. Your flame has been going out, even though you're pretending you're somewhat happy, you're not fully. Something has been dampening your light. Something has been taking away from the best of you. And this is the year of where you're going to find yourself rising up into this. And I think this is why I get the ascendant, the rising of the Scorpio, is that you are going to find yourself taking that stand, standing up for yourself, doing the things that you really need. And it's going to bring into your life the beautiful new emotional experience of finally, oh, this is what joy feels like. So other people not getting their way, and me finally being able to be me. This is joy, and this is what joy looks like. And I feel like that's where you're right. It's like, uh, so yeah, which is going to bring you into a change of directions. And for the Eight of Pentacles, I just see the change. So it's coming up as Gabrielle Heniel. These are in the angels. And so we have Archangel Heniel, we have Archangel Gabrielle with us. And that's the push forward. So Archangel Gabrielle is very good at pushing us forward, pushing us into learning something new, doing something new. And I feel like this is going to be the year you're going to learn a lot. This is a big learning year. This is a year for wisdom, education, training, retraining your mind, retraining your thoughts, building a whole new mindset. It may not be going back to school, but you may be stepping into spiritual school. You may be stepping into the school of the angels and letting yourself learn instead of always trying to be figuring it out yourself, letting go of that control. It just feels like a newbie experience, a whole new experience that's coming in and around and sculpting the new life. I don't know why I got those put there like that. We got to go this way. And so you're coming to life. Do what you love. And I just feel like it's time for you to do what you love. I feel like it has been a long time of you pleasing others or letting other people kind of have that control over what sculpting your life. And I don't feel like you're going to be allowing your life to be sculpted by anyone else. It's going to be this year when you're going to finally say, no, I'm going to sculpt this life. And if you want to be a part of this life, you're going to have to be okay with the me that you're getting and the me that you're seeing, because there's nothing wrong with me. I just forgot me. I just forgot who I was, and I may have forgotten myself as a child, but I'm now recognizing the importance of me, and why I want to truly embody this sense of being myself. And so your world is there's a lot of changes in the world of the Scorpio energy this year, which means that change is not always simple or easy. But it's your thoughts begin to change. You're water, which brings us over here, right? You're a water sign, but you are also one of the water signs that's so very good at being able to keep those emotions in check. You don't let yourself cry. You don't let yourself fall apart. And when you do, it often expresses as anger. You usually get very mad, but pride has been standing in your way. And when pride has been standing in our way, is that it holds us from being able to sculpt the true life. So pride can be a blocker, and pride can block the energy of life's desires. And so what we're being told is that I feel like you're going to lose that sense of pride, which means sometimes we got to fall, or sometimes we got to take a stand, and anger is going to burst through. And that anger of love anger, I call it. And so that's the desire that just says, what am I doing? Why do I keep allowing this? Why am I letting this go on in my life? I'm not here to live in somebody else's dream. And why am I in somebody else's desires? And why am I letting somebody else's desires choose my life? Kind of F that, fuck that. I'm done and I'm moving forward. I just had to say it out loud. That's what they just give me. I'm like, F that. I don't have to do this. I'm not doing this no more. I'm making this change. And when you kind of get that kind of angry, I feel like the people who love you kind of laugh because it's out of character, but they love to see you finally stand in that truth. And I do feel like you're going to be standing up in that truth. It's coming up for you big time, which makes me chuckle. I'm like, sorry, I'm chuckling. I'm chuckling because it's just there. And so if you're someone who's friends with Scorpio, you would understand this. If you're a Scorpio yourself, you'll get this yourself. So Archangel Ragu is 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 the angel with this. Um, and really truly bringing in that sense of, justice is being served. And as justice is being served, is that the justice is you're truly honoring you, right? And it's like you're creating that sense of making things more balanced in your life, and that you get to be the one who makes this balance, to create this balance in your life and start this. So this is a year of mastery. This is a year of mastery. Oh God, it's a year of mastery. It's going to be a beautiful journey. but it's going to be one that's going to require some work. It's going to require some great thought. It's going to require letting things go. It's going to kind of, by the end of next year, I'm going to be like, what life was I living? Oh, and it's going to sculpture a whole new life for you. And for some of my Scorpios, in such a way, in areas, it might not be your whole life, but specific areas of your life, of where you finally, I just feel like a final surrender, finally healing, letting go of that inner child story. And so I got love in the dark, Shyama. You exist in a world full of shadows, right? We exist in a world full of shadows. And when you recognize that you have been feeding the monsters, pleasing the shadows of others, then I think you're going to really truly just look at it and just, you may be feeling this rising in you now. You may be feeling this coming on for you right now. And it's like you're no longer being fooled by it, that you are this light, you are this love, and this light is pulling you up and pulling you forward. So sometimes it does come at a cost. And so the performer, Sasha, she's no longer performing for everyone else. She's rising, she's revealing herself, she's releasing herself. And there's this beautiful divine seraphim angels behind her, that burning desire, like those angels at the right hand of the divine, they say you can't look into the eyes of. And so when you become you, the people of the shadow can't look you in the eyes. Notice that those people will not be able to look you in the eye. They may say, they may call you names. They may judge you. They may think that you're the bad person because they can't face themselves this year. And so, but you are ready. You are, that barefoot goddess energy. You're willing to just strip it all back and just choose. And so this is the rise into the 8th, 9th, 10th, like rising in the energy centers, moving beyond the stories of the physical body and the physical existence, learning the power of your spirit, stepping into spirit, going forward, but also recognizing where you have been. So this is crone, this is maiden. So you got to catch these, these personas, you got to catch this attitude of using false confidence instead of healing the self-esteem. So you got to look at the self, and just because it's easy to pretend, oh yeah, I got all this, and you get all dressed up and you put yourself all out there, but it's not really true. When you're alone, you're sad, you're broken. All those masks have to go. And so that you don't exist in that energy, in that world again. You stop playing pity parties. You stop even criticizing yourself and others. You find yourself no longer complaining the way you used to complain. You're just saying it is what it is, and I'm choosing, and I'm choosing. So I'm choosing, and creating that sense of balance in your life to move forward. And your home, the home you choose to live in will be the one that feels absolutely right for you, not the one that got all the space to accommodate everyone else's needs or what everyone else wants. Does this make me happy? Does this bring me happiness? So for some of you, you're going to be buying that home, and it's such a big investment. Don't buy because somebody else. You have to trust you in buying that home. You have to trust you in what you're seeking. You have to trust you if you're going to be getting married, if you're going to be stepping into a relationship. You can't neglect the red flags. If you've been, really truly in a relationship with a narcissist, with a lot of narcissistic tendencies, you got to recognize that there was an attraction to that, because you have that. We all have those narcissistic tendencies in some ways, when we want something so bad that we believe that we're the one thing that can make people better, that we can be the be all to their whole happiness in life. No, if somebody's miserable, they're going to be miserable with you as well. It's just how it rolls. And so, and if someone keeps telling you how everyone else was the problem in their lives and they've been just waiting for you to come along, you need to really revisit that and really look at that, because we are going to be the next problem in their lives, not their solution. You have to be the solution in your life. You have to be the solution everywhere. So if you're the one that has those conversations, you have to look at yourself in a big way. But there's awareness of truth that's coming in here. This is a soul journey. So taking us back to this little one right here, and this new emotional experience is falling back in love with this, with self, and losing the pride that keeps you holding on to the stuff that is not serving you, but setting you free, because you're done performing. You're done this. Um, throat issues. Throat issues are coming up. So you might find this year bronchitis, lung infections, those type of things. Like, why do I have this? What anger are you holding down there? What are you not, what have you not expressed? What have you swallowed back, right? And what have you been neglecting to see? This may also be some grief, some old grief stories that you haven't really grieved. I feel like for some of you, you may be stepping into an experience of a loss in your life that really opens your eyes and just say, you know, where you see what is important to you. You may have found yourself running from, running from life for so much, or getting caught up in your life being defined by other people, or your job or whatever. And then all of a sudden, these things that change your life, it's life-changing experiences that are happening. And in those life-changing experiences, you're maybe discovering something about you. Now, this is a funny one, and it's funny, but it's not. But I just see you may have refrigerator problems, and the refrigerator problems is the freezer, the freezing. And I just feel like you can be, you've been kind of cold and you're warming up. And so the fridge feels like you may find your refrigerators going. You may find that you may have to replace your refrigerators. And you may have find yourself having to um, not eat crow with your friends. Your friends are always going to be there for you. But the people that you abandoned, including yourself, to make others happy, you'll find yourself returning to those. Remember, environments matter. The environment, see the little fish down here in this cup, with everything that's happening here, what are the two most important things? What shadow did you let in that took you from the flow, that you believed would hold you up, that would keep you going, and that influence and affect the environment? And over here, they have been feeding this environment that's been keeping this fish alive. And so the environment that you exist in, you can't take a saltwater fish and put in freshwater fish. You can't take a saltwater fish and put it in fresh water and expect it to live. It will die. The environment of your existence requires, if you are somebody of light and love, you need an environment that's filled with light and love. You can't exist in a world of where somebody exists in their darkness and think that you will thrive and that you will bring them to the light. It will never, ever happen. If it does, it's a rare thing, but it will not be because you did it. It's because they make the choice. And so this is a year of alchemy. It's a year of transformation. And it's also a year of feeding into your truth. There's a healing journey that's taking place, and it's bringing about that change. So here's temptation, unity. It's so tempting to try to break away from that mind, body, soul connection, that sense of spirit. I'm in control. It's a year of becoming vulnerable. It's a year of breaking that sense. It's a year of, breaking the old karmatic debts, old karmatic relationships, old ancestral relationships. So deep at the root, a lot of root healing, a lot of sacral healing, and just opening self up here to strengthen that sense of will, and knowing that, it's so tempting to just say I can do it all on my own, but we are divinely connected, and there's a sense of unity come together that is rising up for you this year. And here's your choices. Mystical, see, here's the mystical Merlina, ties into this beautiful little mermaid over here. So making all the choices to choose to emotionally and spiritually grow up this year, to be that. And here's this masculine energy by your side. And so this masculine by your side, this is what the seahorse represents, is that masculine energy being by your side. And so healthy masculine energy you will not try to drag you down. It will support you. In the seahorse, the male will carry the babies while the woman goes off and does her thing. And so it stays attached to the one spot. It doesn't leave, it doesn't drift, it's committed, it's loyal. and just, not putting its own needs before your needs, asking what your needs are and making sure that they're met. And so this could be reversed as well. If you have that female if you're the male and you just have that female who's not really considering your feelings, your emotions, I mean, there's something to be explored there, right? So just reverse whatever that is. I'm reading as I'm getting this energy. And so there's a fine line between good and bad. There's a fine line between right and wrong. There's a fine line between heaven and hell, right? There's a fine line. And so you could be existing in a hell that you've put lipstick on and told yourself that it's great. And when you rise up into and you peak up and out and you see and you feel the essence of heaven, you're going to realize that this was an illusion, and those illusions fall because you wanted something so bad. We get so lost in wanting something so bad that we forget to really truly, we forget that self. So that healing comes all the way back to this little one. And this is the year to do the big healing. This is the year to finally rise and coming up for air and realizing, oh shit, so it's finding our way back to spirit, to the sense of magic. So there's a lot of magical existing here. We got a lot of ones, two twos, 11s, 117. And so this is a year of transformation, change, getting the work done. You got to put the work in. And this is where she has to put the work in. Same thing with the angel card back here about the work and mastering. It's to master our own thoughts, master the old brain, master that habit, that habitual way, master the false confidence to heal the self-esteem, self, and to be able to self-assure yourself that I can trust me now to make these decisions. But it is an opening of the throat. It's an opening up of this energy to release out all that's been held within, the suppression, and finding your way home this year. So this is a year of ending so that new beginnings can be. See the sun just shining and the shadows coming. Oh, see, you just can't make this up. How everything just so perfectly does its own thing. And so the way home, Emi, it's one of the most beautiful cards in the deck, but it also represents endings and new beginnings. And so when you make those choices and when you choose, it's, that sacrifice that we're making, is that not willing to go against that inner, not really willing to compromise that inner self anymore to fill the illusions of that outer world. So we can be sad, we can grieve, we can have all of those experiences. And so this is where you can have all of those experiences on the outside, but the inside it's just saying to us, like, here we are, I'm sad, even though I'm pretending I'm happy. I'm saying yes when I should be saying no. And I just can't compromise this part of myself again. So there's a return to this, and this is where we're taking that stand, and this is where the mind, body, soul connection comes in. So just nurture the health of the bronchial, of the lungs, of the throat. Care for yourself, rest if you need it. It's going to be a busy kind of year emotionally. It's not always going to be easy, but it's going to be such a year that's so worth it, that there's a lot of enthusiasm and excitement. Your truest of self is calling out for you, and this is the year of where you kind of start to climb up and into a beautiful new experience. But it's your life that you're living, and this is your rise, and putting the work in and doing the things that you love and becoming the person that you truly desire to be. Well, let me get back over here to you. I got a little bit excited there. I start knocking everything over. I'm like, wow, I'm excited. It was just like that rush. And it just feels like, you may feel the need to rush. You don't have to rush anything. You don't have to rush any decisions. This is not your whole life experiences. These are in little increments. So it may be this little piece you have to work on, then this little piece. And it's all the little pieces that bring the fragments of you that are your true you. And it brings it all together. And so that when you're making the wise choice, the right choice, everything will feel different to you. You will feel different, and you'll feel that sense of accomplishment this year. You're going to feel like you've accomplished something. You're going to feel like, yes, it may have cost me this. Yes, this may have crumbled a little bit, but here I am. I'm happy. I feel the happiness. I feel the excitement. I feel that giddiness inside of myself. And yes, I may have had to get new refrigerator. Yes, I may have, maybe it's a freezer. Maybe it's, maybe it's those type of things. But I'm no longer, I'm allowing myself to live from the warmth of myself, to feel the nurtured, to know that I need to nurture my own needs and that I'm finding my voice. A beautiful year, Scorpio. Like I said, there's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of change here, but it, really dive deep into that sense of that inner child healing, shadow work, that type of thing. Got it all available. I am a past life healer as well. So, and I do still do distance healing. Someone asked me that yesterday. And yes, it's all in my schedule. You can still book distance healing sessions with me. I am born healer. I will always be a healer. That's a part of me. And so that is also still a spiritual, emotional healing, energetic healing, intuitive, great, and whatever it is. And so just trust that whatever it is that you need, it's time to start to really nurture that. Much, much love. And if you like these videos, please subscribe. There is a donation space in the comments below. Yes, I am asking this year, and just say, this work, I put this work out. There is no payment for this. I don't make money from YouTube. Haven't got that far in life with YouTube yet. And so, this is the year that I am saying this is a spot below to leave a tip, to leave a coffee. If you can, and there is a little donation spot down there. So that's one of my things. I've stepped up and said, yes, it's okay to do that. And so it's okay to ask for your needs to be met, and continue to do that, Scorpio. I send you much love. Bye-bye.